we're back in this little setup, I guess. This is honestly the best I can get. I can't figure out the lighting. I have a stupid window here that has like extremely harsh lighting, so we're just gonna have to deal. Okay, anyways, today is gonna be a interesting video. Almost a lot of my past videos, I've mentioned the app Douyin. I have Douyin on my phone. I'm pointing at you because you are the camera, basically. My phone is the camera, is what I'm saying. So yeah, I actually actually exclusively watch Douyin. I've seen a whole bunch of videos, and yeah, there's a lot of girls doing makeup on there, and I thought I'd just come on and kind of share with you some of the techniques that I heard about, learned about. Now, I'm not a professional at all. I'm definitely gonna get a lot of these wrong, in the sense that I'll get it wrong as in putting it on my face, but I'm gonna show probably like little cutaways of actual like real girls like doing it so much better than me, just so you can actually understand a little bit more. But I'm gonna attempt it on my own face. I'm just a normal girl just trying to figure out how to apply makeup on my face. I am not a professional at all. I've had no training, and yeah, so sorry about the long-winded intro, but let's get started. Here we go. Hopefully you can actually see that I have hair. I don't know, it's black on black, so I do have hair. Okay, so let's see. First things first, I'm gonna refer to my like little list down here, just so I remember everything that I'm gonna say, because I've done research, I would say, on this, and I just wanna make sure I cover all my bases. So the first things that we're gonna do is do a face mist. MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. This is something that I've kind of seen some girls use it, but to be honest, a lot of girls obviously have different products like in the East compared to here in the United States. So a lot of these products I can't get a hold of. I don't know the name of it. And yeah, so there is a face mist that I've seen like roaming around the Douyin app for a while, but I have no idea the brand name, so I can't look it up. But it looks like they are just using like a facial mist just to kind of like prep their skin. So this is like the closest thing that I have. I'm gonna try to do this gracefully as I can on camera. It's probably not gonna go super well, but they kind of like basically drench their face like to the point where it's like glimmering all around, and it looks very like wet, I guess, their face, or glowy. So yeah, we'll see. I probably will like do the squinty thing. Ooh, okay. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna rub all of that in, just make sure it's like evenly coated across my face. Okay, good. So you can see basically why I'm trying to get to is the point that you can actually see like the glimmery, I don't know, the glisteningness of my cheek. Okay, I think it's also like a, what is it? Like it's a setting spray as well, so it might be a little bit different than the ones that they use. I'm actually not sure the kind of description of the sprays that they use, if it's just like a primer, if it's like a setting spray, something like that. A common thing that I've seen across the Douyin accounts is that when they do the complexion, they basically want to blank out the entire canvas. So they use full coverage foundations, or I don't know, just complexion products in general. And then it's kind of well known across the interwebs that a lot of Asian girls like to be very pale. They usually do basically a cushion foundation, which is the like the little compacts. I don't actually have one in front of me right now, or they mostly just do liquid. In all my research or all my scrolling through the Douyin, I haven't really seen a consistent brand that a lot of people use. So I'm just gonna use, you know, one that I have, which is just FENTY. I saw one person use it, so I'm gonna use that as enough of a, I don't know, reason to use it in this video. Because it's a skin tint, it's actually lighter coverage, so I'm actually not gonna do a full coverage thing. So this is the first deviation, I guess, from what I'm saying. This is the only thing I had. I'm not going out and buying products just for this video. Anyways, the next thing that I want to mention is my favorite. I have used this in a number of videos, in probably almost like every single video that I've like talked about makeup, which is this. This is the Makeup Puff Sponge, and this is probably the inspiration behind this video. So no matter who you go to, I think this is one of the most common things that all the girls use on Douyin, which is a puffy sponge. Now, the brand name, you know, the kind of sponge varies. So they're super different from the traditional sponges, I guess, that we have here in the West. You know, the common ones is a beauty blender, or a lot of girls do makeup brushes. But this one, these kind of like spongy puffs, like every single girl uses. Apply some onto my face. Now, I know, like I said, they use full coverage complexion products, but I don't have any full coverage. So all I have is really like skin tints and tinted moisturizers. So we're just gonna do what we can with what we have. And they don't do anything special in the sense, they just kind of apply it like I am onto their face, and then they use one of these makeup puffs. I'm actually going to continuously spray. One thing that they do is they constantly try to put as much hydration into their skin. I'm just gonna dab it into my skin. And at this point, like usually, like I said, they use a full coverage, very light color. So at this point, when they do like half their face, they have like a clear line between like their regular skin and like the foundation-y skin. But because I'm doing lighter coverage and, you know, something that's not too light on my face, it's not gonna look completely different. Although you can kind of see the difference a little bit. One thing too is that they almost do like ASMR kind of thing. So they will be very quiet and then they'll do this. Which you can like hear the puff like smack their face. I think now you can get them on like YesStyle, and they're super inexpensive. Like they're amazing if you want to get these, because a beauty blender, what, is like $30? These, or wait, is it $30? It might be like $20 or $30. These, I don't know, max $9 for a set of these. Whereas a beauty blender would be like $20 to $30 for one. We are done with that. Now let's go into concealer. Again, the product, it doesn't actually really matter. I'm just gonna use this one, which I saw like maybe one person use this product, which is the MAC like concealer palette. And what I'm gonna do is just do traditionally just under the eyes, and we'll go from there. I usually just like pat it a little bit with my middle finger, and then I just do that. You can kind of see. And then I do a little bit on the outer corner. I know some people don't really like going up too close to the lash line, but I don't really mind. I think a lot of people say it has like, they get a lot of creasing, but I don't really feel like I have too much trouble with that, so I'm just gonna do it. Okay, so now going back to Douyin style. Now, in addition to under the eyes, what they do is they tend to brighten up around like the, I don't know, the nostril ear area, so like right here, which is super common. I don't have a high enough camera to like do the crazy zoom ins or anything, so we're just gonna have to deal with my phone's camera. Next thing we're gonna do is we're actually going to lighten up this area. And this is probably the one that like made my eyes open the most. I was like, oh my gosh, like in the videos, you can completely see a difference when they do like the concealer right here. I'm not sure if it's gonna make much of a difference on myself. I'm trying all these techniques out for the first time. I've done a lot of research, but I haven't actually put them into practice. So I'm gonna just apply some right at the corner of my mouth. Sorry, I'm talking funny because I'm putting it on. Okay, we're gonna go back to the puff. We're gonna drench it again with a MAC Fix Plus. Okay, I think that's it. And I feel like that kind of already made a difference. Like my face feels very like a blank canvas right now. But yeah, that's all with concealer. The big thing is that basically they not only do it under their eyes, but they do it right here around their nose, and then right here around the mouth. Next, we have powder. What I've seen on Douyin a lot is that they drench their face so much with the hydration mist that they're kind of dewy throughout the entire complexion phase. And then they like to super mattify afterwards. So they go really matte. They don't do the glass skin, like Korean glass skin kind of deal. They go really matte, just even tone, even color, and it's just matte. So this is a product that I've kind of seen. I haven't really seen a very specific powder that a lot of the girls use, but I have seen this a little bit. FLORASIS, and it comes with like a little makeup puff, and then I'm just going to dab this in. Now, to be honest, my face actually isn't too glowy right now, so I'm not going to do this too much. I'm just using it for the purpose of this video and saying that they like to be super matte. Just a lot of different kind of contour products. This is probably the most common contour product that I've seen. This is from JUDYDOLL, which I believe is also a Chinese brand. So what I'm going to do, I'm looking for my brush. Another common brush that I've seen kind of across Douyin, which is, this is the only one that I've seen in the States, which is from Patrick Ta. It's their nose contour brush. It's double-ended. But yeah, a lot of girls have these, but there's not really many that I have access to here in the US. They basically contour the nose. They actually don't contour the sides of the face that much. I've seen it before, so I'm not saying it's never like a thing that they do, but mostly it's just the nose area. I'm not sure, this color might be a little bit too light, so maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. Basically what they do is kind of use the contour, use the curve of the brush, and just kind of scoop out, I guess, a little bit of their orbital bone. I don't know where these terminology is coming from, but okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do something like this, and I'm gonna use almost like the curvature of the brush to follow my bone. So here's where it differs from Western makeup. I don't know why I struggle to say that. Western makeup, I always, it's literally, they just do kind of like 2 lines straight down the nose. And this is like when my eyes open for like the first time on like the difference between Western and Eastern makeup. Obviously, everybody's bone structure is different. You know, Asian people have a very different bone structure to Western people. I just didn't even know. I thought like growing up in the United States, that was the only way to do makeup. It's not always just one kind of technique that you know to be true. So yeah, but I'm just gonna continue. So I don't know if that made a huge difference because this color might not show up too much. And so one thing that they do is not only do they curve it across their orbital bone, but they continue it and like flare it out. So we're not gonna like draw straight down the nose. Maybe I'll use the darker color just so you can see like a little bit more of the shape that I'm giving. I think that one you might be able to see a little bit more. Now, the problem with this palette is that this is like, they only come with 2 colors, one for a cooler tone and one for a warmer tone. So I just picked up the orange one, which is the warmer tone. The cooler one is in pink, but there's not really that much other shades. So apologies if you're darker. Even this is not really showing up too well on my face. So if you're anything darker than me, I don't think that this is gonna work. But I'm just, like I said, trying to show you the technique. Maybe not necessarily the product itself, but I am saying that this is a product that most of them like use, or a lot of them use. Okay, we're gonna try to do the same thing on the other side. We're gonna blend it out afterwards. And then what I'm gonna do is take a little bit on the tip of the brush, like the very top of the brush, and I'm going to create like almost like a little V on the ball of my nose. So I'm basically gonna try to do this. Try to emphasize the tips by kind of doing like a diamond on my nose. So on the bottom of the ball, I'm gonna do something like this. From the top of the ball of the nose, I'm gonna do something like this. So it's kind of look like a diamond. So yeah. And then the very last one we're gonna do is we're just gonna draw 2 kind of slightly subtle lines on each side. So yeah, we are doing like a little bit of a parallel line, but we're not going like straight down like the like whole top of the nose. There we go. I think you can kind of see. You know what I'm thinking is that actually I probably should have done this step with the FENTY contour stick, because when I do that, I can definitely see like the lines. This one, because the product doesn't show up on my skin as much. It's harder to see the lines. I'm actually going to take this another same brush. This is the only one that I found on Yes Style. But this one and this one differ a little bit. I actually bought them at the same time, but I was like, which one should I keep? But this one definitely stiffer. So if you're looking for precision, which I am, I would suggest this. This one is very fluffy. So I decided to keep both of them because they are different, but this one's more fluffy. So I do precision in terms of the placement of the contour, but then I'm going to use this to kind of fan it out. And then I kind of fan it out, basically like I brush it like towards the middle a little bit. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. I'm not sure if it changed much from my original nose, I would say. Next thing that we're gonna do, I'm actually gonna go back to the Patrick Ta brush, and I'm just gonna use this lighter powder, this one right here, and then I'm just gonna brush that kind of on the center. I'm gonna put a little bit on the tip of my nose. So the ones that I've seen, that I keep saying TikToks, but the Douyin little videos that I've seen, this part actually like makes a huge difference. But like I said, I feel like my skin tone is just not picking up on any of it. All right, now what's next? That's basically it with contour. Like I said, I sometimes see people contour around the face, but rarely. And I've occasionally seen some girls contour like their eyes a little bit, as well as maybe a little bit of this part here. I'm actually not sure what this thing is called, but I naturally have one. So it's, I don't know, if on your lip, you know how you have like a little bit of a divot, or some people have a little bit of a divot. So I see some girls actually draw that on. I kind of have one already, so I'm not gonna draw it on. Now we get into highlighting. So not often, I don't really see them do like the traditional highlighting on the cheekbones. Mostly it's the nose again, and it's kind of like the inner corner. So I'm gonna continue with my JUDYDOLL palette here. I'm gonna take the top one. Sorry, I was like, which side? This one here, a little bit on my brush, and I'm gonna put a little bit right on the tip of my nose. I can see that, yeah. I don't know, can you see it? I can see it, but can you? Who knows? And then I'm gonna continue, pick up a little bit. I'm gonna put it right here, right on the central like bridge of the nose. I don't know, I also don't wanna go too like intense because I don't like the look of actually having a ton of makeup on. So maybe I'm doing this a lot subtler than they do. So yeah, I think that they do it for the video. I'm doing it for like my real life. So if I wanna go out later, I just don't want it to look like I have a shit ton of makeup on. So yeah. Okay, and then I'm gonna continue, put a little bit on the brush, and then I'm gonna do a little bit on the inner corner of my eyes. I didn't finish what I was gonna say. That's really all that I'm gonna do. And like I said, I've seen it a couple of times where they do it here and do it maybe on like the brow bone, but not too often. Okay. So the next step from there is going to be eyebrows. Now this one is actually a step that I'm gonna skip, but I'm gonna talk through it, and then maybe I'll put like videos on the side, because I actually don't really have like good eyebrow products. And I also like, I have like my hair density, and I don't know, the color is like very strong, so my brows are pretty like prevalent already. But you know, a common thing amongst Asian girls is that you know, Asians don't have much hair, but I am a walking contradiction to that because I'm an Asian that was born with a lot of hair. So thank you, Mom. 3 different kind of things that I've seen across Douyin. First one is going to be the eyebrow gel. So a lot of times they actually will almost do a tone lighter than their eyebrows, and it's almost like when it comes out like the eyebrow like a spoolie, it kind of looks like it's like for blonde hair. So it's like a brownish tone, but like a light brown tone, and they put that in their hair. They almost want to put like make their eyebrows like a shade darker than their hair or something, which is interesting. So that's one of the methods. The second method that I've seen is almost like, I'm gonna call it the razor blade technique. So they take a traditional eyebrow pencil and they will actually like razor blade it, like make it look like a blade. maybe I'll put like pictures up somewhere, but they create like a blade with the pencil. So like the regular like pencil shape, they shape it into something that is skinny and very precise. And so what they do with that is they'll use the shape to actually draw on like wispy hairs. So that's the second technique. The third technique is honestly probably like the messy way, which they basically just take a eyeshadow or like a shade kind of like this or darker or something like that, use just a brush and just kind of like messily fill it in. They don't do anything crazy. They just literally just smudge it into their eyebrows. Those are the three techniques that I've seen with in terms of the eyebrows, but I'm not really gonna do any on myself, mostly because I don't want to mess up anything and I already have pretty bushy, like dark eyebrows in general. So eyeshadow I have here is 3CE multi-eye color palette. Now they use a multitude of different eyeshadows. I've even seen them use Western eyeshadows. So a lot of girls sometimes use Natasha Denona, like the big palettes. A common one is the I Need a Nude palette or the Glam palette, which is pretty common. Now the thing that I'll say is that a lot of times, from what I've seen in Douyin makeup and even when I kind of learned through Korean makeup, is that a lot of girls don't do much with the saturated eye colors. They definitely like to keep things very, very like neutral and nude and almost like you don't have, you know, much eye makeup on at all. This is the one that I have, 3CE in Smoother. And then another thing that I've seen is a lot of times on Douyin, they almost go like a very neutral or rosy or coral color. They do not shy away from actually like red eyes. I think that a lot of times here in the West, like red like around the eyes, people are scared of because they're like, oh, it might look like I'm sick. It might look like I have an illness or I'm just like allergic to something outside. But the Douyin girls, they like fully go like red on the eyes. And I think it looks so cool and so badass. I'll start off with this middle shade here, top middle. So like this way, top middle. I'm going to just apply that onto the eyes. Now I'm gonna do the middle one, the middle and then the middle, just very middle. And then I'm gonna just kind of do that a little bit closer to the lash line. Okay, I'm also going to take a little bit too on like the very tip of it instead of like the side of it. And then I'm going to kind of smudge a little bit towards the like back of the lashes. How do I describe this? Like the lower lash line, but I'm not going to drag it on the inside. Cool, good enough. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the darkest shade in here, the very bottom right side. Also, I think this might be, is it mirrored? Is it gonna be bottom right for you or for only for me? Can't tell. So I'm just gonna take basically the darker shade, like I said. I'm gonna use kind of like a liner brush. This is the closest one that I have, so we're gonna use it. Put that in, and then we're gonna just kind of dot it across the lash line. This is the part that I'm like really awful at, so we're gonna attempt it. Because I feel like maybe my brush is a little bit too movable, too malleable. What is the term? Like, what's the opposite of stiff? Like, the bristles are not stiff enough, so they kind of smudge everywhere, and it tickles my eyelashes. So I will like constantly blink and stuff. I do have another one that's really stiff, and it's almost too stiff, and then it feels like I'm actually just like poking my eye. So I don't have a good in the middle one. Oh wait, do I? Maybe I do. How about this one? This is an old brush I didn't even know I had. Okay, well, let's see how this one does. This is great because this one is like chubby and short. Perfect, okay. But what I'm gonna do is extend it a little bit, and I'm just gonna kind of follow my natural eyelash line. Can you see? Is that my eyelashes or is that the line that I drew? I have no idea. So what I'm learning is that I struggle to go on top of the eyelashes and drag it out. So what I'm doing is kind of going under my eyelashes and just continuing it that way. Like continuing in the same direction as my eyes. Oh, I kind of think that it sort of worked, right? Possibly. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know if the intensity is enough. Okay, well, whatever. So that's what they kind of do. I'm probably gonna cut that entire thing out because I was like doing my eyes forever. So now the next thing that we're gonna do is something I'm gonna attempt to do, but I'm gonna put it here in the video form because they do it so well, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna fuck this up. So yeah, but I'm gonna continue with that eyeshadow. And how do I even explain this? I'm almost gonna do like a flat line, just kind of outwards, starting from the middle of the eye and then just literally go outwards. So here, outwards. Yeah. And I think that's it. That's all I had to say. They do their eye makeup so amazingly well, where they it makes their eyes like 50% bigger. It's crazy. What do you think? Does it look any different? Could be, could not be. Anyways, that's my attempt. Again, I'll put videos to show you what it actually looks like in a much better way than I can do it. Okay, so now I'm going to attempt to do basically the ageyo-sal, which is to do that little like puff right here. I'm not sure the Chinese term for it, but I definitely know the Korean one is called like the ageyo-sal. So I'm just gonna use, I don't know, this eyebrow brush. What color should I use? Maybe this one? It's gonna be risky to do this color. And I'm gonna try to squint and find the like bag, because that's the only way I can do it. And then I'm gonna try to emphasize that baggy line right there. How do I like draw on that line? It's just, it looks so good on them. Why does it look so shit on myself? I don't know. I don't exactly know if I achieved that on myself. I actually don't think I did at all, but it was an attempt. That's the best I can do. All right. I don't know. I've tried doing it so many times. It's just never worked on myself. All right, I'll have to admit defeat. So lashes, what I learned is that it is so incredibly common. Like almost every single girl does it, is that they use like the individual lashes, or the ones that come in like a whole set, and then like the little box has a ton of like individual lashes, and it's actually not like an individual lash. It's more like a clump of lashes, like a little cluster of lashes. And they use that, so they'll kind of do maybe like 3 or 4 dotted across her eyes. I don't have any on hand, so I'm not gonna do that, but I'm just gonna do my normal kind of routine. Heroine make, this one is the volume and curl. I also have the lengthen curl. I'm not really sure which one I prefer. I honestly constantly just use both of them. But yeah, so this is a Japanese mascara. It's waterproof. It's actually pretty difficult to take off, but this is amazing. If you are Asian and you have very straight downturn lashes, this is single-handedly the best mascara I can recommend. I'm gonna curl my eyelashes as per usual. Now during this, I'll probably also put in like the little videos of some other girls doing the individual eyelashes. So you see the difference? I think I can. Look at that. I love my eyelashes when I wear these mascaras. Okay, so that's it. That is the mascara. I just put some on the top eyelashes, and then I also put some on the bottom eyelashes. Now, another thing that I've seen is actually a lot of girls actually will draw on fake eyelashes with an eyeliner. So they use a very thin like eyeliner. I have one, but it's actually still in the box right now. But they'll actually draw on lower eyelashes. I am not gonna do that because I'm scared to ruin the look of it, because that would be my first time ever doing it. I'm gonna put another video on the side to show what some girls look like when they actually do it. Next thing I'm gonna do, blush. Should I even do blush? Because I'm awful at blush. This is, I don't have any product list, but I'm just gonna use a product that I already have. This is a Tarte blush, I suppose, and I am just going to, do I even have a brush to use? Maybe I should just move my finger. Should I even do this step? I'm not a huge blush person, as I've said numerous times on my channel, but what I've seen them actually do is almost like I told you. They have like, they do almost like red sometimes on the eyes. So sometimes they'll almost like connect it to the blush. They'll like make this entire area blushy. I can try. This is gonna go awful, isn't it? Like they'll make like the entire area like around here, like all like blushy red. I don't know if it's gonna go with this look, but we'll see. I'm just gonna go light-handed because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And then I'm just gonna apply some on the little tip of the nose, and then I've seen them also do it on the chin as well, so I'm just gonna attempt to do that. Good enough, right? Sure. Okay, just showing you. I'll put videos on the side. Now, bronzer. Bronzer, this is probably the thing that I've seen across every single video that I've watched. They don't do bronzer. They do not do bronzer. I don't see them do bronzer ever. They don't do like the whole thing around the perimeter of their face. They don't like to be golden. You might know, if you're watching this, that Asians don't like to tan. We put up our umbrellas, we wear lots of SPF, we don't like going out into the sun. So yeah, I'm not gonna do anything with bronzer. They don't do anything with bronzer. Now we go to lips. This is the part that I don't think I'm gonna be able to do, but there are tons and tons of girls who do it excellently on Douyin. I'm gonna try with this one. This is the Romand Glasting Water Tint. Oh God, this is gonna be so awful, isn't it? Okay, this is a really deep color. I don't know how this is gonna go. We're gonna try my best. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is just kind of like line the bottom a little bit. It smells like one of those like fruity little things. I don't know, that I had maybe when I was a kid or something. I'm gonna use my finger. It's a little hard to work with. Whoa, is that my color? I feel like it's kind of going on like a little patchy, but I'm not sure. That might be me because I don't really do much in the lip department. Holy cow, is this a bright color? Looks like I have eaten a lollipop. A popsicle is what I actually meant. So what I've seen them do is they almost kind of like do a lot on the bottom lip, and then on the top lip they kind of do like a M shape almost. Like they do little tiny carrots on like right under the cupid's bow a little bit. Not right under the cupid's bow, like besides the cupid's bow, which I'm attempting to do. I don't think I'm doing it right. And then they'll almost like dot a little bit like right here on the top of the lip. And then I'm just gonna use my finger to like blend it out maybe. Huh, interesting. Okay, well, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I tried. Again, I'll put videos on the side, show you what it's all about. Okay, that's it. This is my first time trying this guy. Holy cow, I've never seen my lips this red before. Do I like it? I don't know. Okay. Anyways, that's just really it. This is a super long video. I think I'm gonna like, this has been going for an hour and a half, so holy cow. Okay, so I'm gonna take off the headband, show you what it looks like. That is my attempt at doing a Douyin makeup look. Again, I'm not skilled at this. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just want to say thanks for watching this video. I regularly go on Douyin, so this is coming from a person that actually has access to Douyin and watches it pretty religiously. All these videos that I've put onto this video is actually ones that I've saved, I've liked. I don't actually use TikTok really at all. I like literally exclusively look on Douyin. So that's it. I am going to sign off here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video. Yeah, that's it. Adios. Bye-bye.